I'm still dressed in my little outfit. What do you think? Do I clean up well? Do you like my tie? This was a gift in 2003. And it still looks good, right? Yes, by quality. By quality, quality, quality. Just like with investing, you want to buy quality, low-cost index funds that ride the market, perhaps of the S&P 500. In my opinion, you can't go wrong. But anyway, I'm not a high-risk taker. Have I ever said that on my channel before? I don't take much risk. Now, before we get started, let me just... What did you think of my episode yesterday where you observed me paying my taxes? Did you like that? I just kind of rambled along like I do. And yeah, so I'm going to owe a big tax bill. That's never happened. But I also never made $7,000 in interest on CDs before. So, today is the end of the month. Today is the end of February, right? February. February. This is a glass. It's not a bottle. It's a glass. It's a glass of water. Cheers. Oh, goodness. You know, I did show you my watch collection once, but I'm going to show you my ring collection. But don't laugh at me, okay? I shared with you this ring, my turquoise ring. I think I'll wear it just occasionally. I love Southwestern type stuff. I don't know why. Which is kind of odd because I'm in Florida. But I love all of the turquoise, like natural colors. The straw of this hat. Yeah, that's what I'm all about. Anyway, I have 4 rings I'm going to talk through here just for a moment, and hopefully it will provide a few tingles. Let me start by sharing these with you. You may have seen me wear these before. And this one. Not sure where I should put that one. Normally it goes here. Well, hold on. Okay, so this one is Sanskrit. I think that's Indian. It's a Sanskrit design. And I think it says something, I don't know what. It looks like a bubblegum machine. Look. A bubblegum machine ring. Just like this one that I shared with you yesterday. But yeah, I don't know why I like this so much. It just reminds me of like that Indian, like the saris that they wear and all that kind of stuff. I love, again, natural elements. And that's a nice ring for my index finger. And then, by the way, this one was only like $10. This one I got in Atlanta. It looks like it has copper in different colors. Also very inexpensive. I used to wear it with this one. Anyway, I'm not going to wear that right now. Then I've got this one. Just a simple little ring that was also $15. I wore this. I got this in 2010. And I wore it every day for like forever. I just stopped wearing it. And I've been wearing this one, as you have seen, more and so it's no longer moody. It's just this same color now. So, funny story, when I was in Mexico, they were telling me how much this was worth, and then they had some kind of an item or indicator thing of if something is a diamond or not. So I said, hey, can you test mine? And of course they thought that was kind of funny, but not really. But I don't know why I like it so much. So for today's episode, I think I'll just wear these two. What do you think? Anyway, I'm rambling because I'm trying to relax you. Relax. 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 You're just getting older and hopefully wealthier. Yeah, that's my new motto. If you're going to get older, which we all do, hopefully you will get wealthier. And you won't be like most people that are poor, which kind of ties into today's episode. For Friday, February 28th, again, the end of the month. So listen before we get started. 2 months of 2025 are now gone. So how many of you did really well in the first 2 months? Put it in the comments down below. Just say, yes, I met my goals, or no, I'm still working on it. Yes, I met my goals, or no, I'm still working on it. Yes, I met my goals, or no, I'm still working on it. Working on it. Working on it. So yeah, let me know. I'm so curious. You don't have to give me details if you don't want to. Which reminds me, I have some interesting case studies coming up, success stories in March, April, and now in May. I have a new one. Thank you. Somebody wrote in. I have to write her back. But she mentioned that she might want to have me look at her money situation and, give some advice as a money coach. So I will be doing that for her. So yeah, I plan on doing case studies, success stories once a month. So I've got March, April, and now May. So I want to react today to an episode that I saw with Dave Ramsey. Many of you know Dave Ramsey, I'm sure. If not, you can Google him. He is a very well-known person in the personal finance space. I have not always agreed with everything Dave said, just like you guys may not agree with everything I say, and that's fine. That's what this is all about. I think one of the reasons why Dave always talked about an average rate of return of, I think, 12%. I remember years ago he would say 12% as an average rate of return, which I always thought was too high. Anyway, I want to react to the title, as you see, is I'm 58 and I have nothing in retirement. So this guy calls in from Baltimore, Maryland, and he talks to Dave and he says, Dave, I'm a single guy. I have nothing saved for retirement. Zero, zip, nada, nothing. And Dave says, well, how much money do you make? And he says, $75,000. And Dave says, well, what do you do? And he says, I trim houses. He builds custom cabinets, so he's like a carpenter. And Dave goes on to say, well, what else do you have going on? And he said, well, I have $25,000 in mortgage debt, which is not that much, and a $20,000 car loan, where later in the episode he said it's not a car, actually, it's a motorcycle. So, as you can imagine, that would have to go. And Dave then says, well, why do you not have any money? He said he was married to a spender, that he walked away with the marriage with nothing. But then, when he was like 42, so Dave then pressed him and said, excuse me, but that was was like years ago. Why are you still broke? Like, what's going on? You can't blame your lack of financial literacy on the person you were married to forever. So that's where Dave was going, and he said, well, it's just been so hard to get on my feet. He bought a house and he put most of the money into the house, which Dave agreed, you know what, that's good, that's okay. A lot of people do buy a home and then they put most of their money into that home. I have mixed feelings about that, especially for this person that has not done so well, and he's now close to 60 and he has nothing saved for retirement. Now, the loan that he has on the motorcycle, Dave said, get rid of it. That's silly. If you're broke, you can't be running around on a motorcycle. Let somebody else enjoy a motorcycle. He has no business enjoying something like that, which I definitely agree. Dave then goes on to say, and he made it so simple. He just said, again, he's talking to this person, he said, you need to find a way by getting extra jobs, etc., to save $2,000 a month, which is $24,000 a year. And he said for 10 years, you would have $240,000 plus any growth, which he predicted would be about $500,000 by the time he was 68 or 10 years later, and he would have a paid off house. So let's stop for a minute. Do you remember me saying this week that Vanguard just said that they don't think the next 10 years is going to be as good as the last 10 years? So, I did not run the calculation on what that would be. I should have done that. In fact, hold on. Let me see if I can do that. I think I'm still connected to the internet. Starting amount, he said 2,000. No, it'd be 24,000. A year. Oh wait, we begin with 0. We're going to begin with 0. He did a 10-year calculation. We don't know what savings rate, that's what we're trying to solve for. And putting in, how much? 24,000 a year. Okay, so I'm on dinkytown.net, a savings calculator, just as a rough calculation, starting with 0 for 10 years, saving $24,000 per year, which I think is what it was, right? Yes. Dave said you would have about 500,000. Well, that is true, but guess what percent he used to get to 478,000? 12%. So, a rough calculation. Am I making sense? Oops, sorry. Hold on. Am I making sense? That, I think, is a little misleading to tell that person that in the next 10 years, that growth would be as much as he said, about 12%. Yeah, that's pretty high, especially if you had most of that in equities or stocks. Anyway, I digress. He goes on to say, you're in a great profession, you're always in demand, you can work extra if you want to. And he said you need to focus on the business side and not your art side, which I thought was great advice. That you may get there even faster because the motivation will continue, hopefully, here. He said, find the heart of a teacher, which Dave always says. Get on an everyday budget, every dollar budget. Get rid of your motorcycle. Save that money. And, he then anchored to the fact that don't just build beautiful homes, but build a future for yourself that's beautiful as well. So now, my final thoughts about that is, number one, I feel sad for that man that is single and 58 years old and has nothing in retirement. That's why I'm here doing this show. For anybody that wants to watch, regardless of what age you are. That's the true essence. If you're 37 years old right now, which I know many of you are, including the person that I'm going to do the case study success story or whatever it's going to be in May. She's 37, she said. So anybody in their 30s right now, you need to wake up. You don't want to be this 58-year-old man with nothing. I was 58 years old last year, and I got to 1.6 million. Not saying that to brag. I'm saying it to wake you up. You're not going to hear about people like me in the media, in mainstream media. You're going to hear about the people making a lot of money. They're engineers. They're 25, they're 30, they got to $1 million. That's what makes news. Being 58 and broke doesn't make news. Why? Well, to close out this week, what did I say on Monday? Only 3% of people get to $1 million by the time they retire. 97% don't. So, what is it then? The norm. What am I? The exception. And yet you still don't really hear about it. So, wake up right now. For those of you that are in your 30s, you have a long time horizon. You can make the changes. Don't get to the point like I was, where I was broke and I was barely treading water. I could barely get above where I needed to be. But at least I woke up. But if you're younger, wake up now, because it will be so much easier for you than having to sacrifice as much as I did. I don't regret that I had to save as much as I did, 70%. But I don't want you guys to go through everything that I went through, especially the bankruptcy that I had, etc. So, with that, I think I'll go ahead and close out this episode. Give this some thought. You don't want to be that person. If you like content like this, give me a thumbs up. Consider subscribing for those of you that have not done so. Thank you for being here. Good night, and I will see you next week.